tableless, surfaceless challenge. Okay, so the 3 games are Revolver Noir.
It was supposed to be an easy job, investigating this old mansion. That's when you spot a shadow, and suddenly it's clear. You ain't alone, and only one of you is leaving this place alive. It's gonna be a long night.
Enemy Lines.
This is Enemy Lines. It's a game of espionage where you can have fun outmaneuvering and getting ahead of your friends in line.
Royale.
The greedy king shall be tolerated no more. In Royale, 4 citizens will work as a team to rise up against a tyrannical king.
This one, I just loved right off the bat because you can teach this in a matter of no time, right? It was so simple. If you are the farmer, you want to trade wheat for gold, and you want to pass glory to one player. If you're the mason, you want to trade stone for gold and pass glory to one player. Like, that's pretty simple. And the main thing you have to worry about is getting caught passing gold or glory. So you instantly know the stakes. You know the deal if you're going to try to bluff. It's all just laid out very, very cleanly and very easily in the rules. And then it's different. You know, the fact that you have an all versus one game, we don't see a whole lot of those come through. And it's not an all versus one where the one is, you know, a game master running the whole game. They take their turn when it's their turn, and they just have a completely different win condition. So really interesting.
This one is, we called it cat and mouse, but you're both searching for each other, ready to kill each other. It's what I love about it is it's very like Clue-like in nature, in that it's like a mansion. You're going through these different rooms. It looks and feels like that kind of game, but you are you're trying to search in rooms. You're trying to shoot in rooms. You get information from when people do things, and they tell you, you know, which rooms they are and which rooms they can see, and you need to use that information to defeat them. It's stressful. It's hard. But it's just right. Like, that's the way it should be.
One of the best things about Enemy Lines is we asked for a game about standing in line, and so Enemy Lines is about standing in line. And in our last video, I commented about the irony that I complain about Brave Rats, but this is a Brave Rats game.
Yeah.
The reason that it's set apart from other Brave Rats games, again, I mentioned the fact that all other players are always involved, right? So you're going to say whether they're going to fail or not fail, but you're also constantly changing cards. Changing hands for the cards, I should say. So all of a sudden, if I had a 12, now I lost, so you have that 12. So it changes your estimation of who could have what. It's not just like we all have the same cards, perfect information, Brave Rats go. It's, oh wait, he lost that hand, so now she's got the better card, you know, and that whole shifting thing is a nice element to it as well.
So the theme on this one is really apparent. You know, I assume it's a mansion. It's a house bigger than mine, so I'm calling it a mansion. The theme of that is that spooky house, or not even spooky, just that empty house. You're chasing someone around, going to kill them. I think it shows through a ton. It's like the black and white cards. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be full art, but it shows. It has the tone of a noir film. How could I retheme this is usually a question I ask myself, and, you know, I don't know that you could. I don't know that you could, and it would be as effective.
The theme itself is pretty light. It could be a lot of different things, right? But the best part about it is that it's just this, like, the way you vote is by saluting because your guards are your spies, yep. Right? And it seems so silly, but when you have 2 people facing off and everyone else is going like this, right? It does feel. Yeah. I don't know. It feels right. It feels like it fits.
It feels right. I mean, I consider the title part of that theme integration as well. Like that title is woven deeply. So that matters quite a bit. I mean, that's a game where someone's publishing this, they're not renaming it. You know, that name is very important, and it sort of drives the whole thing. it's very simple, but those roles do work. I mean, the shepherd and, they're all working together against the king is, the king's in charge, the king's in solitude. That all feels correct to me.
Yeah, for me, it's not even so much the different roles, because ultimately it's just, it could be suits. Like, I can trade 2 clubs for gold, I can trade 2 diamonds.
Yep.
That part of the theme didn't get me. It's how different they felt.
Yep.
Because the 4 people have to work together,
Yeah.
they have to be secretive, and the king just lords over everybody and, taxes. It felt right. When you explain the roles, they felt right, which I liked quite a bit. Any game like this with a high player count, I mean, it's just infinitely replayable, because as soon as you add different people, it plays so differently.
Yeah.
You have some people that might storm right through, and it might end quickly. I mean, a spy might just go bang, 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 and win without, much ado, right? Or you could have people that are better at bluffing and lots of saluting and voting. I just feel like the potential is really high.
All right, every time you're in line, we're just going to bust this out. If we're in line with a bunch of people who we know or don't know, like, no matter what, like, this is the kind of game where it's just 2 of us, but we go, hey, who wants to join in?
You're going to look over and see people switching spots and saluting, and you're going to want to know what's going on, and you're going to play.
Especially if they're in cosplay, dressed up,
Yeah, that video was awesome.
No. This is the kind of one where it's weird, because a lot of those asymmetrical games, you'll want to swap roles and play again. So it doesn't have that. We'll play again because it's like, hey, you got me, I want to get you. But it doesn't have that, hey, let's swap and start over.
What it has is the I'm going to do something different type of replayability. So the first time I played it with my brother-in-law, he hid out in the basement and then just kept setting traps and using the control panel. And I couldn't quite figure out how to move fast enough, and he eventually blew me up with traps, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to get over to the one room to flood the basement, but he knew I was going there, so he would trap it. So then the next time I played, I tried to put a whole bunch of alarms. That's what he did almost every turn, and I was setting these alarms. And you just immediately like, oh, you know what I'm going to do next time? I'm going to trap behind me, pretend to walk away. Like, that's how you want to play it again.
Exactly. So this is one where I want to get as far away from the king as I can on the next game and try to take down that king, because it's very different. It's a very different role when you're being sneaky or you're being watched, like or you're doing the watching. So I would want to swap sides. I would want to play with different groups of people. So I think I would probably nominate someone for the king so we can torment them. That's just my style of play. I think of it as those big, like, Cosmic Encounter style games. Like, who do we want to gang up on? That's the kind of game where you're going to finish it and just be like, let's do it again. I know the winner. Enemy Lines. It really nailed the theme of the contest in you only want to play this game standing up. You cannot play it sitting down unless you want to line up a bunch of chairs. It really nailed exactly. And it's interesting, I say what we were looking for, but it wasn't originally what I was looking for. What I was looking for was I just picture a game that we have in hand where I can play it almost in my bed. Like, a game where you don't need a table, just no matter where you are. And then this one came in and just changed my entire opinion of what tableless could be and should be. And really nailed it. Yeah,
when I think about what eventually gave this one the title, and this was so close. I mean, we debated about this one, not debated, but we discussed it for a long time, because these 3 games are really different, but they all captured what we were looking for in that, Revolver. Here's 2 cards. We can sit here with a table full of food and play Revolver. Royale, we can sit around a table at a lunch break from work, play in our work game group. Like, they all had that. But to me, what set Enemy Lines apart, and I mean just a little bit apart, this was super close, was the fact that it's so approachable for anybody.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, hey, do you want to play this game? I don't know how to play games. This is easy. Watch. And then you're playing instantly. And it's not like a, easy to teach, lifetime to master thing, right? You're also pretty good at it by the time you start, because there's not a, it's just fun. I feel like it's one of those games that you just slide comfortably into and you can get anybody playing. And it's just a good time. Yeah, it was just super neat. And again, that's not to take anything away from our other two finalists. This was
No, it was very
this was
close.
a very, very good crop of games here.
It was great. And there was 59 and we still went with 20 top games and had a top 3, and it was awesome.
Just know that there's so much good stuff happening right here. And then we are grateful to have all these games to look through, and we're grateful to all of y'all for submitting them and watching this stuff. It's just been awesome.
Thank you to our judges who race through and watch these videos and look at the rules and everything else in like the mad first couple weeks of the month. That's been awesome. Thanks everybody who submitted. And we have one last surprise, which is our bonus stars.
Yes.
The first bonus star goes to, it's called the Michael Winslow Award, which, if you don't know Michael Winslow, he was the actor in both the Police Academy movies and Spaceballs, and he would do all the awesome sound effects. Which game got that? Pocket Aces was the game. It nailed the sound effects in a way that nobody else compared to.
Best use of a clock, and that goes to Forest Fight. Really, this got our attention because the art is just phenomenal, and it really sets the theme for this game of forest creatures fighting in a very heads-up battle style. We love the art, and we wanted to find a fun way to celebrate it. So, Flavor Flav!
Weapon X Award, which Wolverine. Mike does it better than me. It goes to. I'm going to try to actually make it happen here. But it goes to the game called Castle Siege. There's cards between every knuckle. They're twisted, they're turned. There's things sticking out in a way that it's a work of art, just looking at it in the hand. I don't know that I could perform that. I'd shake, I'd drop, I'd twist stuff wrong. But it took game in hand to an entirely new level. So that's it for this month. Next month is make a game about a specific location. I've seen some stuff on Twitter and Discord, locations that are personal to people, locations that are famous.
What is something that you are looking forward to in the submissions for November?
I'm looking forward to being educated about something I don't know. People have just been sharing places that they may or may not be making games about, but it's all super interesting, all new to me. Like there's very little that I actually know. So I'm interested in a little bit of culture, learning a little bit, and experiencing that like little nugget that inspires a cool game.
The other thing that I think is really neat is that some folks are going a direction that's more personal. And so this is a place that's special to them. This is a place that, whatever. And so they get a chance to celebrate that, which is interesting to me in how do you celebrate that in your game? Is it because you did something amazing there, so it's an accomplishment? Or I think that because it's a thematic challenge, we don't have a lot of mechanics that we're looking forward to. But it's interesting to me, like you said, not only the National Geographic side of things, but what do people connect with? What is it about these locations that they like? I think it's really exciting. All right, so that's a wrap for October. So we will hope to see you all back for November. Once again, thanks for watching.
Thank you.